This is Grace. In this video, I want to talk about, well, there's this disorder called Histrionic Personality Disorder. It's a cluster B disorder. And it's along with, in the cluster B, along with narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, and an antisocial personality disorder. And this one, all of them, in order to meet those, to become a disorder, they have to meet certain things, including certain, have certain kind of behaviors, exhibit certain kind of behaviors, have certain kinds of traits and characteristics, and along this line. Now, when I do a video, I'm usually not, I will say, this is not a diagnosis. And what I'm talking about are those kinds of things. They might meet, or I might be talking about one particular one. Like in this one, I want to talk about one that I find truly, just downright bizarre, but frightening. And it's just one of them that I find frightening, of someone who may have this character, may do this as part of histrionic personality disorder. But for me, it doesn't have to be someone who has the actual disorder. I'm not diagnosing. I'm just talking about this one. Getting a little thrown off here because the sun keeps. I have the blind. It's the sun keeps hitting my eyes, off and on, like it's strange. Anyway, yeah, I'm getting distracted. But anyway, this particular one is something that I find, and it can be so threatening to the person that is their target or their victim. And but I don't think that very many people think about this one. And to me, it is a bit like what you would see in a stalker, but not necessarily. But it doesn't have to be a stalker. Let me explain this one. Wow, that light, the sun hitting me like a strobe light. Oh my goodness, that was bad. Anyway, and plus I was going around a curve, so now it's on a different side and partially covered. But as far as this, think of this. Have you ever known anybody who has thought that you're closer to them than you really are? They might call you their best friend, or that you're a real close buddy, real close friend. And you're like, no, in your mind, at least you're saying, you might say it out loud. No, I just met you and you're just an acquaintance. How many of us know that type? They overstep bounds in that way. They think that their relationship with you is closer, some would say more intimate. Some people think intimacy means something that it doesn't necessarily mean that. But they think they're closer. Their relationship bond with you is tighter than what it truly is, or anybody. And they overstep those boundaries, overstep their bounds. And they don't see it as that's what they're doing. Now, some of them may turn rather stalkerish, but not really with the intention to do harm. Their intention may be quite likely they think that they're like I said, really close to you, so they would not be doing harm to you, but you know how that goes. I'm going to mix this one to give a little bit of an example, and I'm going to mix it with what is infantilization, and that's when somebody treats you like a child. Say your parent treats you younger than you actually are, or maybe even your boss treats you like you're a child instead of a grown adult. Anybody. Now, usually it's for like when a parent, I can't even say usually, but for when a parent treats their child, say their child is a teenager, 14, say 14. They treat them more like they're 7. It could be that. But it also can be adults who treat other adults like a child. They infantilize them. And let's say that this type of person, this person with this kind of histrionic trait, characteristic, behaviors, all that, then some. What they do is they infantilize somebody. They see that person as someone that they could nurture. Like on a job, you're on a job and somebody says, I want to take them under my wing. And you're not asking anybody to take you under their wing. So you're just starting off with that company, it could be. You know, you could be a very mature age. And so what they see is that they want to take you under their wing. They're going to guide you, and they're this person who can do it. When, no, I don't appreciate that. You're not treating me like a child. I know my job. I got hired because I do. You have this thing. But they don't see it that way. They see it as they're helping you, and that they are the person who could help you. You know, with that kind of attitude. I can't do the kind of voice they would have, but yeah. I all know that, well, I guess we all know, that some jobs, most of us know, many of us, you know, that's going to be important in another video, but that some jobs, that's a good thing. They have somebody, that they find somebody who can help you to learn the ropes at the new job, at, you know, this job. You know, they have their own protocols and all this stuff, so that they do that. But this person, no, this person just decides that they are going to do that. Nobody asks them. They don't usually do that. And this person just says, okay, I'm going to take this, you know, say him, under my wing and show him how to do this job. Oh. Okay, but you see what I'm saying. The person seeing that, the person with the histrionic behavior is seeing that person as an underling. And they treating them, you know, infantilizing them, treating them as someone who's new, you know, new to the world, practically. But this can happen also in some kind of like organization, a club. Say you join a book club, and you're a younger person, and you join this book club, and say somebody old enough to be your mother or your grandmother sees you as that way, somebody they should take under their wing and try to guide you. You know, you're just joining this club. It's not you're not joining there to be taught. And that person thinks that they're going to teach you the ropes of the world and how to think. Now, people will do this. Some people will do this when they feel somebody is in a great danger or something. That's a bit different. Or, you know, some people do it when they're just giving their opinions. If it's some kind of thing, people can give their opinions on something. But this is when the person is somewhat obsessed with the other person, I would say. And they see themselves as being a bigger part of that person's life than they actually are. And that person, you know, doesn't want that kind of attention from that person. Is not asking that person for that kind of attention. Isn't stating that they're in any kind of relationship. It may be a total stranger. You know, like I said, join a book club and suddenly this person wants to take you under their wing. And you're not asking for that. So, yeah, that one to me is one of the behaviors that is most frightening. But the thing about it is I've been stalked more than once myself. Now, I think stalking is more a different kind of behavior under something else, because often the intent is to control. Well, so is this, in a way. But it seems deeper to me. A control, you know, a power and control game. A ownership type of game. But it still seems that way with this in histrionic behavior, but just not as deeply, you know, because I think the other one, it would be more of, if not, then they're going to harm you. You see what I'm saying? But with histrionic, no. It's just that they assume their relationship is greater than it is. And along with this, you say the person who's going to take them under their wing, they're putting out there what kind of like a resume. If anybody's listening, or they're saying, because I have this experience, I have this knowledge, I have, with that tone that they are the greatest and they're the best. It makes me think a little narcissistic there too. But all the while they have this behavior, they're making this assumption that their relationship is closer than it is. But they're putting out there that they are better than they are. And that's what I see more in my life, is the narcissistic histrionic blend of behaviors. And this would be one thing. It like I said, it is frightening to me. It is, because when you mix that infantilization, when they're treating you like you're a child, and I've known people who were just like a day older or a year older, to think that when I was younger that I was somebody they could do that with. Wrong, for one thing. But they try. They want to take somebody under their wing. That expression always bothered me. Take somebody under their wing. No. And the arrogance of it all, seriously. But like I said, some people would offer, I don't see any problem myself. I could be wrong, and I'll just read the disclaimer. It's not a diagnosis, and I'm not giving any counseling or advice or any of that. But, this kind of behavior itself, some people might do something like that. Like I was saying earlier, and now, that, you see somebody that's about to have a problem, it could be a total stranger, you say, oh, don't do that, don't do that. That could cause you this kind of problem. And that I don't see as any kind of, it's any problem, is anything wrong. If it's something that's to help protect them or from some kind of harm. Total stranger, yeah, we do that. We think about other humans. And, but I'm talking about something, like I said, is more of a long term. Now, if that person started saying, delving into teaching them thinking they're teaching them all of the facts of life, that would be very scary, very. That's something more. But no, this is something where they feel like they can continue and they can get attention from behaving as though they're that person's mentor, even, and that's the mentee. When it's not asked for, it's not anything. They can go too far with it. Boy, the sunset looks better through the camera than it actually does. But anyway, I'm curious. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. Have you ever experienced anything like this? And like I said, it doesn't have to include the infantilization, but this situation, yeah. When they treat you like a child, when they treat you like an underling, when they treat you like you're someone they can guide and you need their guidance, and so on and so forth. Have you ever experienced that? How did you handle it? I know how I would handle it, but how would you? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Like I said, talk to y'all in another video.